Good evening everyone and welcome to Tracey's Cakes. My name's Tracey Mann from Tracey Mann Cakes, and tonight I'm going to be showing you how to paint. Just make sure I didn't put the lid on the stuff I'm going to be painting and squash it. I'm going to be painting some beginners cupcake toppers. So these are the ones that we had at Cake International. So for those of you that did come and see me on my stand at Cake International, you will have seen these little toppers. For some of you got the opportunity to come and paint them. For others who weren't able to attend the show, this is what this evening is for, is to show you how to do them. But also for those of you that did have a go and need a little reminder, then I'm here to do that as well. So I'm probably going to be live for about an hour and a half. So if you have any questions during that time, then please do let me know. Say hello. Let me know if you have anything you would like to ask me about cocoa butter painting, because that's the point of me being live. We are streaming on Facebook. We are also streaming on YouTube. So if you are unable to keep your Facebook connection, if you go across to YouTube at Tracey Mann Cakes, you'll find us on there as well. So with all of our lives, you will be able to watch them back afterwards. So once the live is completed, you will be able to go back. Obviously during the live you can't go back. You have to keep going with me. I can see plenty of you logging in now, which is really nice, so hello to everybody. So we're going to run through beginners cocoa butter painting. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the projects that we've got on our cake school and talk about some of the other bits and pieces that we've got coming up as well. We have another live next week, just to put that out there right from the word go, and I will mention it again later on, but we have another live next week on Tuesday evening, and that one is all about Harry Potter. So we're going to be doing a Harry Potter live next Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. So if you want to come back again and join me, we will be painting Harry Potter cookies. So that will be a nice thing to do, again with cocoa butter painting. So if you become inspired during the time that you're with me and you want to go and buy yourself some Harry Potter cookies, they are all on our website now, or the cookie cutters, they're all on the website now. Either the address that's on screen under cake supplies, or you can go via Let's Shop Cake Live, which is my other cake shopping channel, which gets very busy as well with all my ideas I keep coming up with. I've always got something on the go, I can assure you. So we're going to get started in just a second. I'm just thinking I might move this out the way because this is a very bad idea, me actually putting that there, because I'm going to show you the beginners course first. Although having said that, I've actually got it up there on the screen. What am I doing? I'm making this hard work for myself. Put that there. Right, okay, let's have a little look. So this is my beginners Christmas course this year. So we're going to be running this course now. It's on at the moment. So if you would like to have a go at doing this, the course is up for sale on the school website. So we have two websites. The address that's up on the screen at the moment is the school website. That's where you will find the opportunity to be able to have a go at this. So if you want to sign up for this class, you can go in there and buy it, or you can join as a monthly member. It's entirely up to you, but the opportunity is there to have a go. And then we will be starting, for some of you, the beginners cocoa butter painting challenge, which we have in January. So 1st of January to the 14th of February will be our beginners cocoa butter painting challenge, which will be our other course. So if you don't want to do it before Christmas, you're going to do it after Christmas. So you will have the opportunity to do either. So if you want to do this one before Christmas, we will be having this one. Now, oh, Donna's putting links up for me. She is good. Kelly is actually in Tesco's at the moment. Kelly is here at the moment, my assistant, but she's gone to Tesco's. So she'll appear at some point. So we have this course running before Christmas, and then after Christmas, if you then want to do beginners cocoa butter painting, then you can join the school after Christmas. And we have lovely things like certificates that you get when you do lots of lovely painting. So we will reward you for it. Now, one of the things that goes with the beginners course is, of course, the cocoa butter painting kit. So we sold a lot of these at Cake International, so lots of you are now well aware of what's involved with our cocoa butter painting. I'm just going to go through the kit with you. I should just find one. I've got one in front of me here, so let's just bring that round a second so you can have a little look. So this is a beginner's cocoa butter painting kit. In it we include, this is actually the Christmas version. So we've got black and white, wonder dusts, a selection of these sugar flare blossom tints, some cocoa butter, the metal paint palette, and there's 4 paintbrushes in there as well. So for some of you that know my painting, you'll hear me talking a lot about the numbers on the paintbrushes. So it's very helpful if you've got the same paintbrushes as me, so I can actually say, you now need paintbrush number 1, paintbrush number 2. It's like being at bingo, isn't it? You need to know which one you've got, and then I know that you've got the right brush in your hand. So you've got more cocoa butter here than you'll ever need. It's got a good sell-by date on it, so I'm not too worried about anything going off here. And this kit will paint more than the course anyway. This is not just a little tiny kit that does one thing and that's it. You will be able to keep going forever and a day with this, and that's nice because you only need 1 metal paint palette. You might need a couple of set of brushes. If you're anything like me, you don't usually. I have to replace mine because I can't find them. They're normally here somewhere. That's why I've got quite a few, but you see, they haven't worn out. These are actually all the originals. It's just that as I'm about to go live, normally I go, has anyone seen paintbrush number 1? And then I have to go and get a new one. So I ended up with a few 3s at the moment. I've obviously been going through a few phases of losing that particular one. So tonight we're going to paint some cupcake toppers. So they have come from Patchwork Cutters. I'm just trying to find it, it's behind me. So we'll go through that at the end. Patchwork Cutters is what I've been using to do some beginners painting. So the picture that I showed you on the screen a minute ago, which is the beginners course, is not a patchwork cutter. I think lots of people are obsessed that they are patchwork cutters. They are not. They are images that we will give you as part of your course for you to download, trace and get onto your cakes and paint. So this is a completely separate thing. This is back to the beginning, have a go, see how you get on with it, and work it out from there. So we have 2 websites addresses that will be going up, so you'll see them sort of now and again. This one that's up on the screen at the moment is for the Cake School, so that's where we host all our classes. So you will find any information with regards to signing up for membership, information with regards to all our current classes and classes that are coming. And then we have another address that will go up shortly, which is tracyscakes.co.uk, or Let's Shop Cake Live, which is probably the easiest link to get through in, and that is where all our products are. So that's where you'll find all the cookie cutters and the things that I'm going to show you this evening. So we're going to have a little look at the focus tonight, which is of course Patchwork Cutters and the lovely Marion who runs Patchwork Cutters. So let's have a look at the ones. I'm just trying to stop this from avalanching. If you suddenly see me lunge across the room, that's because there's been an avalanche, everybody. Right, let's have a look at these. So let's change the address over for the moment. So this is what we're going to be using tonight. So we're going to be using Patchwork Cutters Cute Christmas Characters. So we had these at Cake International. This is what we were teaching everybody to paint with. And if I hold them up close there like that, you'll see what they look like. So they're nice little set of 5 characters there. We're not going to use all 5 this evening. We're going to use a different one as well, but that's then painted up. But I'm going to show you how to paint them up. Marion paints slightly differently to me. I think she paints with alcohol, I think, but I will check that. There is the Christmas stocking, which is 2 different sizes, and we're going to paint the small one here tonight. And then there is another set which is called Christmas Midi. Now Christmas Midi, I'm going to turn that around there, has a little tree, a little tiny snowman, a much smaller stocking, a nice candy cane. It's a job to see them because they are black in colour. But if I hold that picture up there, you'll see them a bit more clearly. But also I have painted the tree and one other thing on the main box at the end, which I'll show you at the end, so you'll be able to have a look at those there. So these are the 3 main sets that are for cocoa butter painting on cupcakes, and these are the ones that we're going to be kind of focusing on this evening. So these are the ones that we are looking at. So these are all available on the website. The only one with Patchwork Cutters we're struggling with at the moment is the reindeer, which is the big paint that we've been doing, that I did live last week or the week before last, and then I did it at Cake International as well. So you can imagine the number that we have sold is quite a lot. So we are now focusing on these tonight. So Christmas Midi, Cute Christmas Characters and Christmas Stocking. Donna very kindly has put a link up for this one here. If you are on our website at all, just go into Patchwork Cutters and you'll find all the options in there for Patchwork Cutters. So you should be able to get going with that. So let's have a look at the system that we're going to be using. So we're going to bear in mind you know absolutely nothing. That's always the best way. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit because it's very close. and then we'll bring it back down when we start painting you so you can see what's going on. So when we went to Cake International, we talked about one of these, which is called a chrome food warmer. It has no relevance, or it's not listed as a cake decorating item anywhere. So if you go looking for it, it's not going to come up in a cake decorating shop. It's a very specific piece of equipment that's actually used just to keep food warm. So you put your plate on it and it keeps your food warm. What I've done is worked out that actually if we put the tea light on there and a metal paint palette, this gets very, very hot, which helps in turn to keep the cocoa butter melted. So I'm going to just show you what cocoa butter is. Okay. So this is cocoa butter. This is what it looks like. And then all you need to do is literally just pop it onto the palette like so. And you can catch hold of it. You don't need very much. You'll see just how little I use this evening. And in the main beginner's kit, there is 100 grams of this, and that should last you an awfully long time. I paint every day and it takes me a long time to get through a 100-gram bag, so I'm sure that for you as well it will take you a long time to get through it. So you can see very quickly it's already melting. That's because this metal paint palette is hot, the heat's come up and it's now melting this and turning it into a liquid, and it's the liquid that we need to be able to do our painting. So that is the purpose of this particular live. Now, if you were watching on our channel yesterday, you will have seen me, so I'm just going to grab a bit of kitchen roll and clear this icing sugar up that I'm leaning in. You will have seen me cut out the little discs that I'm going to be using this evening. So they're very straightforward. You're just going to roll out a little bit of sugar paste and press the patchwork cutters in. Now, I've done those in advance purely just to help myself a little bit, so that I've got everything ready. Here we go. I'm going to bring them in now, including a piece of free cling film I seem to have gathered. There they are. So these are the ones that we're going to be looking at this evening. Now, the first thing to note is that they are not on white sugar paste. They are on blue sugar paste. That's really important because actually it makes the painting stand out more. So when you are icing your cake, normally you would ice it with white and you would go straight ahead and wouldn't think twice about it. But I'm recommending that you cover your cake in a pale blue if you're going to do any painting on it, because it looks so much better. If you have a look at the beginner's course, you'll see they're also on pale blue. And in fact, a lot of my courses are on pale blue colours. You'll be surprised as to how much better it can look on that. There are some cases, I'm going to show you this one, that is a white cake. So that's fine because it's a white winter scene. So that's absolutely acceptable, no problem at all. But in general, things tend to be on coloured pastel colour backgrounds. And I do favour blue because it's my favourite colour, so I always tend to go for blue anyway, and that's what we're looking at tonight. So we've got here the little snowman, that's that one. We've got the reindeer, which is that one, and the penguin. So these are all from Cute Characters, and then we've got the little snowman. We've got the stocking there, which is this one here. So as we paint them, I'm going to drop the camera down a little bit further just so you can see nice and closely. So let's have a look at the paint mixing before we get going too far, because I'm not going to have the palette on full screen. I'm going to just have a proportion of it so you can see it as we go. So again, I mentioned earlier that the paintbrushes are numbered, so you can see there it says paintbrush number 1. So that would be me going, and now you need paintbrush number 1. So we're going to be using mainly paintbrush number 1 tonight. So I'm going to get that one out straight away. You will need a little bit of kitchen roll, paper towel, in order to be able to clean your brushes as you go. So I'm just going to dip that into the cocoa butter, twist it on my kitchen roll and make sure it's clean. It will run yellow because cocoa butter is a yellow base, so you're not looking for it to run white. Okay, right, so we are going to start, I think we'll start with the reindeer. We'll start with him. So should we start with him or should we start with the penguin? Might start with the penguin actually. So what we're going to do is just dip that into the cocoa butter there, grab some black and just bring that out like so. But I'm actually going to grab a little bit of white so it's not too strong, because otherwise it's too dark. So we're making a very, very dark grey. It will still look black, but actually it will be just a little bit less than that. So it will be a little less sharp, and that's why we're doing that. Do you use paste to colour your fondant? I use gel mainly. I like gel. So I tend to use a lot of gel. I do use the odd paste here and there. So I tend to use, sometimes I use a colour called Autumn Leaf. I use that colour quite a lot. It's one of my favourite colours. Right, I'm just going to rejig this slightly. So we've got some space. I've got to work out how to do this. Hold on, put this round this way. So there's a bit of moving around here so you can see everything. Right, okay, let's bring that there. I'm going to bring this down as low as I can. What I don't want to do, oh, sorry, you've all got to go on a bit of a roller coaster for the moment. What I don't want to do is the camera being focused in and out and driving everybody crazy. So I'm hoping that will be okay. If it starts to go a bit funny, then I will go back. So all we're going to do to get started is we're going to just paint what brush have I got here? Brush 1, okay. Paintbrush 1. So just take hold of your paint and start. Now I'm just going to turn this around because I want to get into that corner there and bring that round. Now what you need to remember is if you're starting to paint in some very small areas, which I am now obviously going to paint in a very small area, I will then change paintbrush and go down to a 0 so that I can get in there without ruining the whole thing and causing myself loads of problems. So changing down to paintbrush 0, round the corner. And also you'll see me moving it as well. So what I don't want to do is end up in a situation where my paintbrushes are in sort of, you know, I'm trying to sort of paint at strange angles. All the time I will be turning this around and you have the same angle as me. So what you're seeing on screen is what I'm seeing as well. Okay. So we'll just turn that round like so, back down this side. So the idea behind painting patchwork cutters is to build your confidence so that you're all ready to come and join my lovely cake school, and then you can start really painting. Although having said that, you're very welcome from the word go with your beginners. We have loads of beginners classes, as I talked about earlier, so do feel free to join as a member or just buy your class outright. I'm here to help you. Let's turn that back round. So with your patchwork cutter as well, don't press in too deep. If you press in too deep, you'll make it a lot harder for yourself, so don't press in too deep. Just keep it sort of like, just so you're embossing it more than anything else, nothing else. Just keep it nice and simple. I've got to remember what I did with his feet now. Let me have a look at my original set. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm going straight across the bottom there. I had to remind myself what I was doing there. I didn't think I painted his feet black. I'll go across there. I'll swap brushes again because it's very tight down there. Sometimes I find the paint is a bit lumpy, and I've added more cocoa butter. It still happens. You just need to keep mixing it. You need to look at the make of your paste. The white dust can be lumpy and you just need to keep mixing it. That's your answer. If it's too thick, you need to put some more cocoa butter in it. And then hopefully that should solve that problem. Okay, right. So we've done you to start with, haven't we? So that's him underway. Now I've got several other paintbrushes available, so I may well just go to another paintbrush number 1 while I'm here. I'm now reading Donna's comment about the lovely birds that are on my winter scene that I did warn everybody about were a little bit tricky. There's some very nice little birds in my new winter cake painting scene, and they are tricky, and I did warn everybody they're going to be tricky. Right, we're mixing up some white paint here, and of all the colours, white is definitely the one that can be a bit lumpy, and you can see it sort of creeping up my brush there a little bit. So we've got to give it a really good mix and get it nice and thick. A little word about white dusting colour. So very recently, the EU banned E171. E171 is called titanium dioxide, and it is actually a colour that's used to make white food colouring. Now, because we are not in the EU anymore, it's not a banned item here, and it is in our white food colouring, and we really need it for cake painting. So I'm really hoping that by the time our ban comes round, because no doubt it will at some point, although I don't really know why, they will have come up with a better alternative. So edible Sugar Flare have come up with white, but it mixes grey. It is really not very good at all. So you want to be finding anything that's got E171 in. Colour Splash has got it. PME has got it. It's a really important colour that we need in here in order to be able to do cake painting. So that's why we're keen on it. Right, let's do the centre of this penguin. So cocoa butter dries 1 to 2 minutes. It doesn't actually take that long to dry. It's very quick, and that's when you can paint layers and all sorts of things. I'm just going to paint straight over his eyes. I'm not going to be too worried about doing anything too precise on this. These are meant to be quick paints. So if you had a whole load of these and you wanted to do them very, very quickly, you know, if you've got a set of cupcakes to do, you could spend an evening just painting up all your discs, and then you can store them ready for when you use them. So if you're doing a Christmas bazaar, for example, at a school, or brownies guides, I'm just trying to think of some other options. I don't know, some sort of church coffee morning, or just giving them away to the neighbours, then these are great things that you can sit and do now, because you can do them in advance. I'm going to just stipple the front of him a little bit so he's a bit fluffy. Just go like that with the paint rather than having him flat. Turn him out like that. So you can see I've painted over his features, but that's fine. We're not worried about that. We will come back and sort that out later on. So in terms of his sort of little earmuffs, I haven't got my hat on yet this year. Everybody knows I wear my hat when it gets cold and I start painting. I haven't quite got to that stage yet. I've still got white on my brush, so rather than take that white off, I am going to grab some of this cocoa butter, pick up some brown, and I'll just mix that in there, and that will immediately then go to a light brown colour. Am I going to cake and bake? No, I'm not going to cake and bake. I am definitely not going to cake and bake because I've just done Cake International and it's too expensive to do 2 shows a year. So one show is it, and Cake International is the one I normally do. So no, I won't be going to cake and bake. I've got plenty going on here. You can one only paint on white chocolate, or does dark chocolate work the same? You should be able to paint on white or dark chocolate with cocoa butter. Okay, so we've done his little feet. We're going to change colour now, which means we dip it into the cocoa butter and we just roll it on our tissue paper just to make sure that it's all out. There we go. Right, what should we give him? What colour headphones should we give him? Let's see what I did on the last one. Okay, so we'll do red, and then we'll grab a bit of red like that. Grab a bit of, a tiny bit of white, just so they're not as red. And then we'll just paint those there. And we'll do the band maybe a bit different. So we'll paint that like that. And that one like that. Turn him round. There we go. I was going to say, you'll find yourself talking to these. Then I thought, no, that sounds insane. I won't say that. I just said it. Right, okay. Dip that in there. And then let's go for his beak colour, because I've got a bit of red still on there. So we'll grab a bit of this sort of egg yellow colour. I realise I'm off screen slightly. We'll grab a bit of white. Maybe not as much as that. Got a bit too mad there. Let's make it a bit more orange. And then we'll just give you a little bit of a beak there, look. Turn you round. So I'm doing the majority of this painting with Cake Paintbrush number 1. We sell our paintbrushes in sets of 5, or they are included in the cocoa butter painting kits. So that's where they are. Well, that's made that a little bit bigger than I wanted to, but that's okay, it doesn't really matter. It's not a problem. And then what we'll do that bit that goes over his head. So let's look at luster colours. Let's do that in gold, shall we? So we tend to use Sugar and Crumbs Wonder Dusts. I think they're amazing. The one that we have the most of is this bright gold one here. These are all on our website. So if you go into, I'm going to say Let's Shop Kate Live because it's the easiest place to find everything. You will find all the Wonder Dusts on there. Now we've got 2 Wonder Dusts that are included in the Beginner's Christmas Kit. And that is Wonder Dusk Bright Gold, which is the one I'm using at the moment, and the Snowstorm, because that's the one that we use to make glittery snow. And why wouldn't the snow be glittery, eh? Well, if you're going to have snow, you might as well make it glittery. There we go. Very sweet. Now, the option to do the eyes, you've got a couple of options here. You can do them with paintbrushes, or you can use one of these, which is a dotting tool. Now, dotting tools, we sell these in sets of 5. You can see they've got a little tiny ball on the end there. They're quite difficult to see. There you go. All right, you can see that. But these make really good round eyes, rather than trying to do it with a paintbrush. It does actually help if the sugar paste is a little bit soft. Now mine probably isn't, because I set it yesterday, so we'll see how this goes. If it doesn't work, I will just do it with my paintbrush, but we'll try. So I'm just mixing up a little bit of black, like so. There we go. And then we'll grab our dotting tool, we'll put it into the paint, so we'll just sort of take it around like so, and then we will press down. Oh yeah, that worked, that was good. And then we'll press that down there again. Because the sugar paste is a little bit soft, I can push it in a little bit further, so that's good. Happy days. I'm just going to colour the tuft of his hair in a bit up the top there, because it looks like I've made a mistake and I haven't. And it's actually just the top of his head. The paint I've just put down is a tiny bit darker, so I'm just going to go around the outside edge now with the darker paint. I'll just outline it a little bit, just so he looks a bit shaded. A shady penguin. That's better. I'm going to take that colour down a bit further as well. Painting by numbers, that's how you need to think about this. It's very straightforward to do. You are literally just following along either with me, or you're just painting your own. Whoops, I need to put gold down there. That would have been a disaster. I would have had something to say about that, and it would have been rude. If you make a mistake, you can paint over with white. It's very straightforward. So if you make a mistake and you need to get out of it, then you just paint over it with white. Nice and easy. Nothing else to think about there. Right, let's go back to the red a bit. We're just going to make his headphones stand out a bit more. So we'll just do some neat red. What have we got here? Let's put that there. Okay, so we'll just put that down the side of his headphones, just so they get a bit more 3D. So I can already see I've got some of my students on tonight. So I've got lots of cake painters on here tonight. So if you want to know what it's like to be in the cake school, what we get up to, then do feel free to ask, and I'm sure they will comment. I'm sure they'll have something to say. It's usually nice things. They'll be, I'm sure, happy to help you. If you wanted to put a little spot in the eye, you can always just get a little bit of white and just put a little spot in his eye there, just so it stands out. Now, the other thing you can do with the dotting tool, which we will do on all of these here, is we can give him a nice little snowy background, because obviously it is Christmas, and so therefore it's compulsory for it to snow, isn't it, really? And you can see what I'm saying now about the white background. The blue is so much better because it makes this white stand out. If I just do it on a white background, we're not going to see any of this snow. It's going to disappear. We're actually going to put some on him as well. Otherwise he's not going to look like he's actually in the snow, is he? There we go. And I'll pick him up so you can have a little look at him. Now, I can see already, so I'm just picking up a paintbrush here, so I've gone off screen a second. Let me find the brush I was looking for. Right, let's grab this one. Clean it up, make sure it's got no red in it, otherwise he's going to go pink. Right, let's take that out. That's better. What brush is this? What is this brush? 0. Okay. So I've got a tiny bit of black in there. I'm just going to literally paint straight over the top of it, and that will get rid of that. Then went on, proceeded to catch the black. Oh, honestly, there we go. That's better. All right. So that is the little penguin. He is very cute. Yes, Jackie, I totally agree with you. He's very cute. So you can see how quick and easy it is to paint him. He is not difficult to paint. I think this, the point of this live is to show you that it doesn't take very long to get through these very quickly, and they are really quite delightful to paint. Now when you've got them and you're painting en masse, so if you're painting lots and lots of penguins, you would do all of their stomachs first, then all the black, or whatever order you choose to do it in, but you would just paint all of them at the same time. So you wouldn't be changing colour quite to the extent that I'm doing at the moment. So we'll put him over there out of the way, and we'll bring the snowman in next. We'll do you next, shall we? And we'll give him a makeover now. So again, remembering of course that he is on the blue background, so we're going to start painting immediately with white, so he will immediately stand out, won't you? So let's grab some of this. We want to make sure the white's nice and thick, and we're literally just going to go straight over the top of him, and I'm going to just sort of stipple it a little bit just so that the paint dries a bit more like a snow texture rather than a flat texture. We're going to go across the scarf here and down this side, and we'll just go across his nose. We can still see the indent, so I'm not worried about that. That's okay. As long as we can still see where we're going, it doesn't matter. We know where you are. We'll go down there. We'll avoid his scarf because we don't really want to paint over that twice. The only thing we've covered at the moment are his eyes and his nose. And then we'll come down here and we'll do his hands. Now I think my paint's getting a bit thick now, so we're just going to put a little bit of extra cocoa butter in there. I can just feel it starting to get a little bit thicker than I want it to be. I'll go over his foot. He's relatively quick to do because he's all white, so there's not a lot of shading to do on him. It's just about making sure you get the coverage really. So you might have to go over him twice. It kind of depends how thick your paint is. If you do them on a very dark background, like a navy blue, you potentially will have to go over it twice, but navy blue is a really nice background to do these on because they stand out really well. I enjoy cake painting. I think it's a brilliant thing to do this time of year when it's cold and dark and horrible and not very nice outside. If you're trapped indoors, this is a low cost thing to do. Once you get going and you bought your kit and you're set up, it's easy to do. A little bit of sugar paste and you're off. And you can sit and paint for hours on end. You'd be amazed what you have to do. You have to concentrate while you're doing this. And a lot of people at the NEC, when we did this at the NEC and we said, oh, come and sit down, do some cake painting. Oh no, I don't know, I'm not sure about that. When they'd finished, most people, I'd say the majority of people were like, oh, I loved that. It's one of those things you can't think about anything else because all you're worrying about is just getting your lines and keeping it all straight, making it look really nice. So it's a nice thing to do. It takes you away from everything else, all the other pressures of life, and gives you something else to think about. So it's a really nice hobby to have. Right, let's do what we got here, paintbrush one. Let's do his hat, shall we? We will do his, let's give him a red hat, why not? So we're going to go up there, across the top. And there. So you can see with a bigger brush you get you get your coverage done a bit quicker. That's the purpose of these brushes, is to go and use the right one for the right amount of surface area that you're covering. And actually after a period of time you will soon know which brushes that you should be using. The point of the school is obviously for you to learn cake painting, but the end point of the school, the point that you get to, that most of them are getting to now, is that you can then choose your own pictures and your own things that you want to paint and incorporate it into your cakes. So you're learning a skill that you can then turn around and use for yourself in a different way. It's like learning to airbrush. You follow a course, and then when you've done it and you understand it, you then apply it to something else. So there you go. Look at all the people saying it's very relaxing, you see? I haven't put my Bob Ross voice on tonight yet. I'll do that in a minute. Right, actually, what I'm going to do with the scarf, what should we do with the scarf? I'm just thinking I might incorporate, I'm going to paint it white. I'm going to change my mind, and I'll tell you why in a minute, because I'm going to make it stripy. But I'm going to make it red and white stripy. So we'll put a white coat down first, and we'll let that dry. And then we will put the stripes on. So we have to let this dry first before we can do that, but that won't take long. I've actually got a heater on next to me at the moment, so everything is drying pretty quick. Okay, leave that like so. Let's turn that around, and we will just clean our brush. No, we won't. We'll just switch brushes to this one. So I've got a couple of extras on the go tonight, and we'll go straight for black. And we'll do this part of his hat here with paintbrush number 1. Do that there. Turn that round. There we go. That's that done. Right, so let's have a look at his eyes. So his eyes are a little bit bigger than the penguins. So sometimes when their eyes are a bit bigger, we use a slightly different tool. We use another ball tool, but this one has got a bigger end on it. So this one we can use to do these eyes, I think. We'll find out in a second. Let's see whether this works or not. They look like they will. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm pressing down very gingerly because I want to make sure I'm right. There he is. That's not bad. Right, if I want to make them any bigger, I will just press down a bit further. Oh yeah, that's better. I want you to have bigger eyes, and then I'm going to have them going up the side a bit, even more better. I love it if more better is even a sentence, which it probably isn't. It doesn't matter. Now, Sharon, I have to answer that question. No hat tonight. That's actually not true. For those people who followed me for cake painting over a number of years, I am rather renowned for getting not cold while I'm painting, but I do tend to start my live looking very glamorous, and then halfway through I put a hat on my head and then I usually take it off, but sometimes I forget. So yes, Sharon, I have got my hat on my head tonight because it gets cold. It does get very cold in here. Right, I'll go back to what I'm doing now. So we're going back to paintbrush 0. Now we've got a line here where the snowman's mouth is, and we're just going to follow that line across there, like so. There you go. Happy days. And then we'll do his little nose. We'll do that in the same colour that we had for the penguin, I think. Put that on there. Like that. There we go. Okay, now let's go back to the scarf, shall we? Because that should be, is that dry? Oh, actually we could do the buttons while we're waiting, couldn't we? Let's just go back and do that. So we'll take this tool again, press down. The sugar paste is a little bit soft, so as I'm pressing down, it's actually sinking in a little bit, which is good. Let's go down and do that again. There we go. Easy peasy. Right, let's switch over to red. Have we got paintbrush 1? Yes, we have. All good. You can't paint without a hat. Maybe I need to get a cake painter's hat made. Maybe that's what I need to do. Gets the winter, and when I'm sitting in here demonstrating, mind you, it's not too cold tonight. I've been in here and it's been absolutely freezing, but it's okay at the moment. Right, let's make him have a stripy scarf. So now I've put my white down. I'm going to take hold of my brush. I'm just going to put some stripes there. So you can do whatever stripy scarf you like. If you want to do a stripy scarf, you don't have to, but why not, eh? If we can, we will. So we'll give him a red stripy scarf. Red and white. Another one there. So maybe, here's a little thought for you. Maybe if you've got a family with a football team that supports a particular football team and they wear a particular coloured scarf, maybe you could paint your snowmen to match the football team. It's an idea for you, isn't it? You could do that, couldn't you? So don't forget you need to change the direction of the stripes on the one at the bottom, because obviously they are changing direction because they're going the other way. That's where it's been folded. Just go back and tidy that up a little bit. There we go. Right, he's actually the most, I think he's the easiest one of all of them, you know, he's really not that complicated. Right, let's take our dotting tool again. I'm just going to put a little tiny white dot in his eye because that makes all the difference. There we go. And then we'll take the other end of the dotting tool and we will put some snow down just like we did with the other one. You can, of course, spray glitter all over these if that's what you particularly want to do. So if you like everything to have loads of glitter on it, then why not? I'm just going to put a little bit of snow on his hat. If you try and paint white onto red and it's not completely dry, you probably end up with pink. So be careful. I say that because I was teaching a class that had a bird in it and I didn't wait long enough, and before I knew it all the snow had gone pink. So just be a bit careful with that. You can overpaint it obviously, but just be a bit careful there. Right, I'm just going to tidy that bit up there, and then I'd safely say I think we've got him sorted. I think he's just about there. So that's our snowman. There he is. Let's hold him up. Whoops, I catch hold of him. There he is. You can see him on there. So you can see how easy it is. And that one, hold on, what did I do with the cutter? There it is. This is what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So it's really difficult to see sometimes with these patchwork cutters, and then when you've stamped it and got an outline, that's what it ends up looking like. So he's quite a nice looking character, I think. And that's how it comes out. Now the cutter I've got from here is just over 2 inches. It's a 2 1/4 inch, I think. And it does fit onto cupcakes. I'll show you the cupcakes at the end, so you'll be able to see that then. There we go. You can see that like that. Right, let's carry on. We will do, so we've done the penguin, we will do the stocking next. Let's do that. So the stocking comes on its own. There are 2 different size stockings. Now there is, just to confuse us further, there is a stocking set, which is those 2 there, and then there is the midi one that comes out, the Christmas midi. So there is another little stocking as well. So you'll find there are lots of different versions of this. This one's got a little teddy sticking out the top, and actually it's quite a nice one for me to be able to show you what the luster colours are like, because the luster colours paint really differently to everything else. So let's have a look at those next. We've done a little bit on the headband. We're going to go up a brush size. We're going to go up to paintbrush number 2 because we've got a bigger area to cover, and we're going to grab some gold paint. So with luster colour, so luster colour is a shiny colour, and then what happens is that if you just add in a little bit more powder than you would do with the matte colours, then you'll get a better coverage. So you'll see instantly what happens. So this is called Bright Gold. This is Wonder Dust Bright Gold. It's a really nice colour. And as I say, I've used a bigger brush just to cover the whole surface area. We'll avoid those bits there. I'm sure we'll make those something else. Turn that round, but it will dry shiny. Luster colours dry shiny. We have other sets on our site. We have 4 together: mystical silver, mystical gold, rose gold, and royal gold. I think it is something along those lines. So there are lots of other options as well. Okay, I'll come across that. I'm going to go for it. It's going to be a very out there stocking, I think. Like so. Again, depending what your coverage is like, if it's a little bit on the thin side, it probably just means you need to adjust your paint thickness. So you need to adjust your cocoa butter. Add in a little bit more, a little bit less, depending what it's doing. But you should be able to get, with a luster dust, full coverage straight away, unless it's very, very dark. And then in that case, obviously, you would need to do something else. So this is Wonder Dust. Actually, this is the old packaging because they've got new packaging now. But this is Wonder Dust Bright Gold. It's a very nice colour. And again, you will find it on the website. Oh, Kelly's appeared. So she's doing some links, or she's handy, isn't she? Okay, so that's that. Right, let's carry on. So we've got some different patterns at the bottom of this stocking, so we can do that. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the little bear, because I've got that kind of in mind, what colour I want that to be. So we'll do a little brown bear at the top there, hanging out the top of the stocking. So we'll go for that. So obviously we've got the brown here with a little bit of white in it. We'll put a tiny bit more in, just so it's not too dark. How dark is it coming out? That's still too dark. Let's make him a little bit lighter. Okay, and then we'll just paint him like that. Let's turn him round. He is very small. And he's poking out the top of this bag, so he's quite cute. And he's got his arm sticking out as well. So we'll need to go down and paint that bit. There we go. And obviously he's next to a present, which we will paint. Let's paint that red, I think. Keep that nice and straightforward. There we go. Like so. So we'll go for that red colour that's got the white in it. If you stick to the same colour palette, so you'll notice that I've not introduced loads and loads of different colours. Then when you put them together as a group, they will look like they belong together. So in other words, I haven't got blue going through anything. I've got the same colours, red, gold and white and brown it's going to be by the time I've finished. So there will be some other colours. But when you put them together, they will look like they belong together. And that's what we're trying to do with this. Make sure they look like they should be all together. There we go. Right, now while I've got red on here, we will go down to the bottom here. Now, these are slightly more tricky, aren't they? So what we'll do is we'll just use the width of our brush to do that one first. Maybe I might introduce another colour on this. And across there. I think I might take that gold right to the top there. And then put that colour in there. Maybe in there. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter. Whatever you like. I might put some green in. Where's my green? Right. What have we got? Where are my colours? There they are. All still packed from Cake International. That's very handy, isn't it? What have we got here? Let's go for... Ooh, there we go. Moss green. Lovely. Super duper. I was thinking of green, but you never know what you can find till you've got it. Just check my candle's still going. Yeah, my candle's still going. You notice I haven't topped up with any cocoa butter, but I will have to shortly because it's starting to get a bit funny colour in that one anyway. Right, let's grab some of this green. So I like this moss green colour. I use this quite a bit. Also use gooseberry green. That's another colour that's really nice. Woodland green for different things. Depends what you're doing. And then we'll put this maybe on here. How about that? Just another colour. Actually, you can have a thicker band of green on that side. That's okay. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll put a green band on the top of this. Make it a bit darker. Let's go a bit darker, shall we? That's better. That's better. Okay, so there we go. So you can kind of see what's happening there. There are lots of features on these bears. It would be very difficult and quite tricky to get your paintbrushes in there, but you can give it a go if you want to. I would literally just do a tiny little couple of dots for the eyes. You can just about get paintbrush 0 in there, and I would do it in dark grey. I wouldn't do it in black because it's too harsh. Otherwise it's going to look too much. And then I think I can just about get to his nose, I think. If I make a mistake with this, I should just paint straight over the top of it, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest, if I'm not happy with it. But I'm probably not going to touch the bow on that because the bow is really quite deep in there. But what I will do is take hold of my dotting tool and I'll put some nice little dots on there so we can make a nice sort of spotty parcel. So we can always do more to it without actually having to make it too much more complicated than it is. Much more complicated than it is. There we go. Something like that. It's got a spotty present in there. And again, you could then use the ball tool on the other side if you then wanted to do some sort of spots and different things on the stocking itself. So you can always take that colour. So I'm just going to paint that bit of green down there that's annoying me. I'm going to make that a bit darker. So I've got a bit that I can just see. And I'm just darkening it up on the lower side of this stocking there. And I'm going to do the same on this bit here. So this is green that doesn't have any white in it, just so I can get a little bit of shading going on. Not a lot, just a little bit. We don't tend to shade the luster colours, we kind of leave those alone. It's more a case of shading the matte colours than it is shading the luster colours themselves. Okay, right, I think we're done with that one. Just thinking what Kelly did with her other one. Okay, so let's pick that one up. So there we go. So that's the little stocking. Okay, so that one is in a different set, but there is also a Christmas midi as well, and I'm going to show you that in the main set at the end so that you can see the difference. So there are a few different ones around. There's also a larger version of this that's on its own. So if you want to do lots of Christmas stockings, then this one would be the one that's for you, really. Right, let's pop that over there. And we'll have a look at the lovely reindeer. Oh, I love the reindeer. He was very popular at Cake International, as Kelly was telling me. So we're going to do him next. Now, we're going to do him in brown. We're going to start with light brown, which we've already got mixed up because we've been using it for other things. I think we used it for the penguin's feet, didn't we? And we're going to just do part of his body. Now, he is super fun to do. He is so nice. So we're going to do him really well, make him look super smart, ready for Christmas. So I've been live at the moment for just coming up for an hour, and you can see now I've done 3 so far. You have to bear in mind that I obviously then talked about my kits and we talked about classes, and I'm not painting at high speed or anything like that, but you will be able to get these done much quicker than what I'm doing them. But this gives you kind of a general idea of what is possible. So I'm leaving his tummy there in the middle, and then we'll go up and do his ears. Again, I'm just going to leave that bit in the middle. Take it round there. I've also got some examples to show you towards the end of some of the other patchwork cutters that I painted over the last couple of years. Some different ones that are available that you might then like to get. So I'm going to just run through those as well. So you'll see exactly what the options are in terms of that. And don't forget, everything is on the website. So it's traceyscakes.co.uk or Let's Shop Cake Live. You can go into the website either way. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Whichever works for you. Right, so we've got him to this point, and then we need to do... we're going to do his stomach, but we're going to do it in, let's have a look. I know what colour I want so that I can find it. Okay, well, we've got cream, that will do. We're going to use cream. I'll turn that round. I was going to do Cornish cream, but cream is fine. That will be okay. So we'll just grab that, clean our brush up because it's got green in it at the moment, and we don't want green in our cream. And look, that even rhymes. Right. Okay, so I'm going to grab some cream, grab some white, mix the two together, see what you come up with. Back a bit more in there. So those of you that are joining me at the moment, who if you perhaps missed the start, I will be back here next Tuesday evening at the same time, and we're having a Harry Potter painting evening. So I'm going to be painting the new Harry Potter cookie cutters that have come out. So if you want to have a go as I do it, or you want to have a go full stop, the cutters are now on my website. So they are on Let's Shop Kate Live. If you go onto the site, you'll see all the Christmas stuff, but halfway down the page, you will see, I think there's 5 or 6 Harry Potter things in there. And we will be painting those next Tuesday evening. Now they are quite a bit more complicated than these, but this is completely achievable. As you can see, we won't be painting all of them, but we will certainly paint some. We may even split the live in 2 and do some one week and some the next week, but it will be a Harry Potter painting evening on Tuesday next week. Now if you see a post going up about it, which there is, and if you just click going or interested, which is the same as what you've probably done this evening, Facebook will remind you, which is very helpful, because loads of people go, oh no, I missed it, I forgot. Well, if you actually click a post, an event post, and put in going or interested, you will get a reminder, and it will help you to know when we're going live. And if you miss it, then you will be able to watch them all back, because I'm streaming everything out of YouTube, and so it will be there forever for you to go back and watch. So you'll be able to go back and see it. Right, so we painted the tummy and the mouth a different colour. We're going to go round to the brown again. We're going to make it darker this time. So we're going to grab a bit of extra brown. And we'll go much darker. Still with a little bit of white in there, but we will go a little bit darker. And then we'll paint his feet. Paint that a different colour. There we go. There we go. So again, and also just to recap on this, this is Cute Characters, which is a patchwork cutter. This is one of 5 or 6 in this packet. Let me check, hold on. 5. One of 5. So there is a reindeer, a robin, a snowman, a penguin, and a gingerbread man, all in the same packet. And then we have Christmas MIDI, which is a load of other tiny little ones for cupcakes, and there's some different ones in there, like a candy cane, different style stocking, and then obviously we've got the stocking itself. I know what I've just done, I've painted his nose brown, haven't I? Okay, no problem, I wanted it to be red, so I will leave that to dry, and I will correct that mistake, and you will all see how to do that. I've painted your nose brown, it should have been red, it's because I was talking, you see, I wasn't concentrating. Oh, it's good though, because then you're going to see how to put it right, aren't you? So if you do what I've just done, I can show you how to get out of it. So what we do, we've made a mistake, I'm just going to leave it for the moment, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint over it, and that should solve the problem. Okay, so we're doing his antlers a little bit darker. Do them the same colour as his feet. It's just we didn't want you to have a brown nose, did we? We want you to have a red nose. That's okay, we'll come back to that. All is not lost. There is no hint of panic here. We can do this. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do with his nose, I'm going to just try and take it back to white. So it's still a tiny bit wet at the moment, so I'm just going to dab it a little bit. Grab hold of another paintbrush. And there we go. Let's get that out. Make sure there's no colour in there. In the meantime, it's still continuing to dry, so that's good. And we'll grab some white, and we'll just go straight over the top of that brown nose. I should have painted red, and then that'll give us a base for the red shortly. I'll let that dry. Okay, see, back to normal. Back to normal. Get rid of that. And then I'll just tidy this up a little bit around the edge. So we can then darken this up a little bit if we want to. So if we want to put a bit of a shadow in down the side of him, we can. Maybe a bit under his chin. Just use a little bit of the darker brown down those sides, across the bottom. Where are we? Like that. Okay, let's do his ears. So we'll do a little bit of pink in his ears, so we'll mix that ourselves. Right, when I'm painting, how do I stop my paintbrush from spreading? Can't seem to get to a point. I think you're probably pressing down too hard, maybe. I'll just use your kitchen roll to kind of twist it so it goes to a point. I'm assuming you've got my brushes, so they should be behaving themselves. It's all down to the brushes. That's the key to this. Okay, so if you've got my brushes, then that's what you need to do. If you haven't, then you need to get some of my brushes so you don't have that problem, because it should be fine. So I'll just put a little bit of pink in his ears. Right, now for the eyes, because they're a little bit deep set, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to take hold of some of this dark grey with my paintbrush 0. I'm just going to go into that gap with the paintbrush, turn it around that way, because I think my dotting tool will struggle to get in there because it's deep set, a little bit further down than some of the other ones. So that's why I've done it that way. Because I've just clipped it slightly, I'm just going to take that and just paint on the inside edge there. There we go. You're having a makeover. There we go. Okay. Now, for his smile, again, we'll go dark grey rather than black. Why is it on screen? Yeah, it's just about. So when you clean your brushes, as you go through the cake painting process like I'm doing at the moment, I just use cocoa butter. So I just clean them with cocoa butter as I go. Once I've finished painting, I can then take them to the sink and use hot soapy water, but you never dry your paintbrushes facing down. They always have to be facing upwards. Otherwise you are literally going to crush the hairs on your brush and they will never recover. So you do need to make sure that you've got them facing the right way. That's all you need to do there. Yeah, Jeanette, I thought you had my brushes. I'm looking at your name thinking I'm pretty certain there's a kit that's gone out to you. So maybe just have a practice trying to keep them as light as you can. On half dark, half light here. Let's go that way. Let's turn it round. There we go. Right, let's give you your red nose now. So that now should be dry. Yes, it is. That's good. And we'll go back to the red. The brushes are crucial. As with anything, it's setting you up so that you get this done right. And a lot of it is about having the right stuff from the word go. If you've got the right equipment from the word go, you are already onto a winner. If you're using huge, great big chunky brushes to paint the tiniest of areas, you're not going to succeed. It's as simple as that. Whereas if you've got really nice, neat little brushes, just like I'm using here, you will be fine. There he is. Right, now what else we'll do with him? Let's do something different with him. So we are going to do some baubles hanging off his antlers. Let's do those. So again, I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to mix up a little bit more gold paint because I haven't got huge amounts of it. So let's mix up a little bit more. There we go. Right, let's grab some of this. Mix that up. Go. I'm interested what June has just said. She has said she bought her kit 2 years ago and it's still going strong. This is not a kit. You know when you buy a kit for something and you use it and that's it, it's gone. This is not what this is about. This is about buying something that's got some longevity to it. It will last. You'll be very surprised how much painting you can get out of it. A lot, basically. So I'm just cleaning up the end of this ball tool. So there we go, we've got the end of this one here now. So I'm just going to get the end of this, and what we'll do is we'll put one there, and we'll put one there, put one there, and put one maybe there. Okay, turn that round, and then we'll grab, just going to clean this brush again, it's got red in it, so I need to get rid of that. And then we'll grab a bit of this grey colour, and then we can hang these off his antlers, can't we? Just paint some straight lines. Easier said than done. Okay. I assume they're straight. I'm painting at such a weird angle. I'm not, I think they are straight, thank goodness. That was a bit hit and miss. I was thinking, oh well, if they're straight, they're straight. If they're not, they're not. Just paint the top of his head there. Missed that bit. There you go. Okay, so you've got his antlers on there with these little things on there. Then we get the old dotting tool back. And we'll, obviously, because it's still snowing. Do you know, I forgot to put the snow on the stocking. I'll do that in a minute. I'm not sure you'd have a stocking outside in snow, but we're going to have one whether we like it or not, so that's the decision. And then make sure we put some white on the reindeer too. Ooh. So you can make pictures up with these cute characters and all these different things. You don't just have to paint them on their own on discs. You can use them, paint them around the side of your Christmas cake maybe. There are all sorts of different things that you can do. They're quite quick and easy to do. There we go, like that. Let's hold him up because he is so lovely, isn't he? He's very sweet. There he is. We'll put a little dot on his nose, shall we? Let's do that as well. We'll give you a little dot on there. Going to put you down while I do that, and then we could give you the tiniest dot in your eye, but we need to be careful because otherwise your eye is going to disappear. There we go, that's better. There you go, now he looks more alive, doesn't he? So that's the little reindeer one, and he's come in from the cute character set. So there we go, he's looking very lovely, isn't he? I'm going to just do the snow on the back of the stocking, which I know he is not going to be outside, but I don't care. I want them all to look the same. There we go. Maybe it was snowing when Santa was delivering them. That's what we'll say. Knew there was something funny about that one when I painted it. I couldn't work out what was different for that one versus the others. And the minute I did the last one, I thought, I know exactly what's wrong with that one. It's missing its snow. There we go, that's better. Right, let's have a look at these. Let's bring them all in so we can see them. There we go. Right, I'm just going to move that out of the way a bit so we can bring those in and you can see exactly what it is that I've painted. Okay, so they're very easy to do. They're very straightforward to do. They are not difficult. And at the worst case scenario is that you don't like one you've done, you put it in the bin and you start again and you do another one. So it's using small bits of sugar paste that you can then put onto cupcakes, which I'll show you in just a second, and you'll see the ones that I did before I went to Cake International. I think they just about made it back. Some of the other designs that are available. So they are not difficult to do. They are very straightforward. They're very easy and they're very good for beginners. So if you are sort of thinking, oh, I'd quite like to try cake painting, or I'm scared of it, or you went to Cake International and you saw Kelly painting these, or you didn't get the opportunity to have a go, you've now got a video that you can follow, because this video will stay on my Facebook page and also it will be on my YouTube channel as well. So you'll be able to see them on there. there. So let me show you what they look like on cupcakes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of other examples of what we did with patchwork cutters so you can see. Now you have to bear in mind these have been all the way to Cake International and all the way back again, and so potentially there is some small amount of damage on some of them, as in they tipped over in the box, but never mind, we've just about got back with them. Right, so let's have a look at these. So there we go. All right, so you can see the snowman. There he is. Let's move that across that way. So there's the reindeer, there's the snowman, there's the penguin. This is the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man is also in the same set as cute characters. These two over here are Christmas midi. So Christmas midi is this set here. So I'm going to just try and work out what's in here. So you've got a candy cane, a bauble, a snowman and a robin, a Christmas tree, a bell, a stocking, a crown, some holly, some mistletoe, a present and a bird. Looks like a dove. So there is a lot in that particular pack. They're just not perhaps as highly detailed as the cute characters, but they are still very, very good. So that's what you can achieve from doing all those on there. So once you've made these in advance, you can then store them in perhaps a box, a paper box, maybe with some greaseproof paper between when they've all dried, because obviously you don't want to stack them on top of each other if they're not dried. And then when it comes to Christmas, all you need to do then is bake your cupcakes, swirl your buttercream. I've put a few little white sprinkles on here, and then I have put the discs straight on, and they will then dry so that they are solid. They're not going to hang over the cakes, they're going to sit flat, which is really nice, and that's exactly what we need to do for something like that. We don't really want cupcake toppers that are sort of hanging off all over the place. So I'm going to just show you a couple of other ones that I have done in the past from patchwork cutters. Again, these are projects that you can do. Kelly did quite a lot of these, I think, when we were at Cake International, I think last time. This is the very super popular reindeer one. Now, I have got a bit of a stock problem with this at the moment, or I'm going to rephrase that. I've given Marion a stock problem with this one because this one now is nearly sold out. So if you are waiting for this one, you might be in for a bit of a wait. So I'm going to quickly hide that one and pretend that one didn't happen. But there is some nice ones like the igloo set, which I painted last year. Again, Kelly did as well, which is another really nice one that you can build little pictures up on as well. That's very sweet. We also did this one last year, which is the snowman with the reindeer from Cute Characters. This one here is a set, and then the reindeer and the penguin were added in to kind of make up a little picture. So it's very, by using different sets, I've been able to make up some kind of different pictures. But the one I'm looking for, which I know is in here because I saw it just before I went live. There's two actually. There's the reindeer again. So this is the one on a very dark background. Now this one here and this one here, that is Christmas midi. So this is the bauble and that is the candy cane from Christmas midi set. So just so you know that's what they look like. So that's quite nice and easy to show you there. And then, come on, I know you're in here because oh no, it's not. I know what I did with it. I was being really uber organised. I even got it out of the box because I wanted to make sure I showed it, and then I forgot. Is this one. And this one is Christmas parcels, Christmas tree and parcels. And you're going to recognise he's back again, a little reindeer. So this one and this one are in the same set. So this is Christmas parcels. And all I did was leave the bow off and I put the little reindeer sat on top of his parcel. And again, it makes a really nice topper. Now, a lot of this stuff that I've painted is on Patchwork Cutters Clubs, which is on Facebook. An awful lot of it is also on my YouTube channel, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes. So if you are sort of thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind having a go at some of these patchwork cutters, a lot of the tutorials are on there. However, what we'd really like you to do is to come and join the cake school and have a go at doing some of these kind of paints. That is what I'd really like you to have a come and have a go at with us. And also join our group where we also do lots of lovely things like cupcake wreaths, cupcake bouquets, all sorts of really nice projects, lots and lots of different things that we get up to. That's what we've done this evening. I'm going to come back on screen now. I've taken my hat off because I'm getting quite hot actually, so it's fine. It's not quite as cold as I thought it was going to be. I did have my hat at the ready, but I'm okay. So yeah, that's what we've done for beginners cocoa butter painting. So next Tuesday evening, I'm going to be doing Harry Potter cake painting. So Harry Potter cookie cutters have just come out. They are on my website, and I'm going to put up Let's Shop Cake Live. There we go. I'm going to put this one up for the moment. So that's where all our products are. So that includes things like our snow globes. So we have a snow globe kit for making different cookies. We have Christmas jumper kits. We also have the new Harry Potter cutters that are there as well, the new cookie cutters. So we are getting a big shipment of them tomorrow. So as soon as they come in, they'll be going straight back out again, because I think 50% of the stock's gone already. But if you'd like to paint along with me next Tuesday, one of the Harry Potter things, I think we're going to be doing the main school emblem, which does look quite complicated, but it'll be fine. She says confidently, it'll be fine. And I shall probably wing it, because I won't have painted it beforehand. I will just do it. It'll be okay. So we're going to do that next Tuesday. In between all of that, I will be live on Saturday. So Saturday morning, I do my lives on Let's Shop Cake Live, which is my other Facebook page. We will be doing some more of ideas for Christmas. We will be doing Christmas wreaths. I've got other ideas, or we've got new cookie cutters. We've got Christmas crackers coming out. They will be there as well. And we have got another twist on a couple of other cookie cutters that we've already got that I just need a few moments to put together. And then hopefully you'll see that as well. And we will have hopefully all the new Harry Potter stuff as well. So you'll be able to see that as well. If you go to my website, you can see it now already, but we'll have it hopefully all painted up and looking lovely by then. And you'll be able to see exactly then what is going to be done with that. So all the products are on Let's Shop Cake Live. All the school information is on tracymanncakeschool.co.uk. Again, if you want to come and join us, we have a monthly membership where you can join as a gold member, where you get access to all my classes and Facebook Lives and Q&As and all these different things. And then we will have so they get access to everything. We also have silver membership, which is just painting only. So if you just want to do painting classes, we have that for £10 a month. Then we also have bronze membership for beginners. So if you like to have a go at doing some beginners stuff, we have that. Or there is Sugarcraft membership, which is just for people who want to do royal icing and airbrushing, chocolate paste, all these nice things, but not cake painting. We do have that as well, and that's £6.95 a month. Or you can just buy your classes outright and keep them. So there are lots of options on there. It's not just membership, and membership is in your control. I'm just putting that out there. It's not for me to control, it's for you to control. So you may come and go as you please. So if you sign up for a month, then you don't want to come back, you can cancel it. Or if you sign up and stay with me forever, I'll be even happy about that one. You're more than welcome to come and stay. And we do have, for gold members as well, their own Facebook group, and they have their own option to be able to chat amongst themselves, which they do, and various bits and pieces like that. Lots of you are now talking about the Christmas crackers. So the Christmas crackers will be going, they've just arrived actually, or no, one set has just arrived, so I haven't tested them out yet. The Christmas cracker cookie cutters will be going onto the site later this week when I've actually done them. I'm actually racking my brains now thinking what to do with them, because I've only got one set as well. This sheer panic just came across me then. So we've got a Christmas cracker cookie, then one that goes onto a cupcake as well. So we're having those two to look at on Saturday as well. So Saturday, Let's Shop Cake Live, and Tuesday evening back here again on 7 o'clock for Harry Potter cookie painting. And remember, when you see my event posts, don't forget to put like or going, interested, any of those things, so that you've got them ready for being reminded by Facebook, which is very helpful, that there is a live and you don't miss out. And again, if you have joined me late and you now want to go back and watch this, as soon as the live is over, you will be able to do that. And if you have any further questions beyond the live, then do please get in contact with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. We are rapidly sending out mail order at the moment. We've got a few outstanding at the minute, but we are keeping up with most of it. I'm now telling you that the post is now starting to slow down. I went to the post office today and as per usual, although they're not on strike this year, which is good, I'm pleased about that. But please bear in mind that there is going to be a bit more delay with your post coming through, but we are continually sending out all the time, but please be patient. It will be coming. So please make sure that you just hold on and we will get everything out to you as soon as possible. So in other words, if you want something, order it as soon as possible so that we don't have a problem near Christmas. That's what I'm trying to say to you. What is the date? 17th of November. We're sort of galloping towards Christmas now, aren't we? Right, okay, so I'm going back now to see young Kelly, who is here visiting from the Netherlands at the moment. So I'm going back to see her. So I will see you all again on Saturday. I will be live at 10 o'clock. And I will see you then. So take care. Don't forget, next Tuesday night, Harry Potter cookie cutters, or come and have a look at them on Let's Shop this Saturday. All right. Take care, everybody.